right. With the head in a jar, we're feeling alright. Broadcast signal bending space and time. Coffee fueled chaos on the morning line. From the cartoon realm to the cyber sky, we're diving head first while the satellites cry. Steel and static, black and chrome. The future's broken, but we're still home. Morning dive and a coffee. Fuel the machine and ignite the day. Morning dive and a coffee. Surfing the timeline all the way. Ghosts in the signal fire, in the wire Java. In our veins, turn the frequency higher. Morning dive and a coffee. Dive into the madness and start the day. Hey! Cowboy dance signal cuts across the years, laughing at paradoxes and our fears. From future wastelands to a retro sunrise, we're chasing tomorrow through electric eyes. The monitor shines with a radioactive light. Nuclear technicolor hues lighting up the night. Industrial heartbeat pounding through the screen like a synth-fade nightmare from a fever dream. Coffee, static. Coffee, static. Coffee, static. Dive! Morning dive and a coffee. Neon thunder in the morning rain. Morning dive and a coffee. Ride the signal through the digital pain. Industrial craniums, broken satellites, cartoon gods and radio waves burning through the night. Morning dive and a coffee. The future's awake, and we're leading the fight. 1,000 years ahead, one cup at a time. Dive deep, drink up. Static fades, scent echoes.
Hey, howdy, hey, boys and girls. KJ Cowboy Dan here with my one true guy right here, the Dollar Ben himself. How you doing, Dan?
I'm doing real good, bud. Just recovering from that 4th of July weekend.
Oh man, recovery from 4th of July. I'm still trying to recover, man. I don't think there's enough coffee for the recovery. Looked at the 4th of July. Do you do anything good?
Just did the family thing, had a big low country boil, partied all night.
Oh,
Did
little country
fireworks,
boil. Would you have? Catfish?
shrimp, sausage, potatoes, and corn.
Shrimp.
We kept it pretty simple.
Oh, Southern country boil. All right, there we go.
That's how I
Nice.
roll.
Oh man, I wish I went to your place for Thanksgiving. For not Thanksgiving, for 4th of July. Jeez.
Well, if you can make it for dinner,
My,
we're having red beans and rice.
mm, you probably wouldn't be able to get rid of me. I'll tell you what. I'm like one of them stray dogs. You feed me, and it's like you can't get rid of me. So, yeah, this week was my birthday week. Spent on top of that 4th of July. Spent the entire week hanging out with friends from across the country, just on their shows and channels. I think I spent longest stream I did was 5 hours on DJ Longhair's channel, and we sat there and uh, did a 5 hour AI music battle, pit each other's AIs against each other to see whose AI was like the best AI.
5 hour stream, that's a lot more stamina than I have.
Well, kind of when you're in my position, you really don't have much of a life. But all my friends are in different parts of the country, so end up
How you
spending
doing?
a lot more time on the internet.
Well, at least you're keeping the community alive.
Well, you got to do something. Got to do something. You know, don't really get out much anymore since the cancer. Half the meds I'm on make me drowsy or unable to do some stuff. But beyond that, I'm not terminally online. I just spend a lot more time streaming than I used to. And this is a lot different life than being a DJ. So, did you manage to see any fireworks or light any off or come home with all five fingers?
We definitely kept all the digits. The, well, we were planning on seeing a big fireworks show out near the house, and so we just let off some sparklers and stuff, and we verified where the fireworks want to be through AI, and the AI just straight up lied to us about where and when the fireworks would be. So we kind of missed the big kickoff of fireworks.
Ah, yeah. Yeah.
So, co-pilot, if you're
I don't know.
listening, you owe me a fireworks display.
It might give you a fireworks display, but it's going to be displayed as something completely different because the prompting was a little off. Yeah, AI will hallucinate for you. You can actually make the AI hallucinate. I was telling I was telling Dan off screen. I said we managed to do a thing where we made the AI believe that the Smurfs were in the same world as the Avengers, and with the right prompting, the AI will believe it. That's a problem with a lot of these AI information services is like they're either finding information from old websites, so like when it does its search engine aspect of the AI, it's gonna find like any information that's out there, even if it's old information.
Yeah,
Part of the
because
reason why
because
you
the one
can't
thing it's not
trust it.
allowed to do is say I don't know.
Yeah, yeah, it's got to know everything. We built the AI with a little bit of pride. Well, I'm telling you I don't know, or I'm telling you I know, but I really have no clue.
Yep,
A
that's
lot of
probably the
people
most
do that.
human thing it's ever done.
Yeah.
Is just make shit up.
Well, I always say if you don't know, pretend like you do, I suppose. I've done that on a regular basis. We fill holes. I mean, it's something I've done on a regular basis, at least when it comes down to trying to figure out, like, okay, I don't have these comic books and I've read this issue, I've read this issue, and I've read this issue, but like there's 3 issues in between I haven't read. So I got to like feed those holes somehow. You come up with your own little fan fiction in your head. And I think that the AI is very good at doing that.
It's definitely good at making stuff up. That's been my experience. I asked it to give me a comic quiz one time, just testing it out, see what the functionality of it would be. And it started asking me questions about things that never actually happened. I can't, I wish I had that saved, but it kept giving me
Oh, yeah.
details from like 3 different storylines and trying to make it seem like one story and asking me questions about it. So yeah, it just
Maybe
straight
we
up
can
crumbles stuff together.
recreate it. Maybe like someday we'll recreate it. I do a Wednesday night chat and chill, sometimes with Theta, sometimes depending on how Theta's feeling, we do one with Theta, or I just do a Wednesday night chat and chill on my own. And maybe that'd be a good thing we can recreate. I like making the AI hallucinate. Give us do like little Suno, like I do Suno battles with my buddies. We did that on my birthday, and a 5 hour stream of just sitting there mixing music with the AI. And we one day I did a AI writes the lore of my chat, and we had everybody in chat there. Ooh, we got the one and only TCG dude in chat right now, or as he's now known as TCG guy. How you doing, TCG dude?
Hey, sorry about the
Can
rebranding.
we'll have to I got a dollar band. Can you Dan, can you do you have a way to turn up your volume a little bit over there on that side? TCG dude says you're a little low.
All right, how's that?
For me, you're good. TCG dude, how's that sound? I can always fix it in post. We don't have post, but we'll pretend I do.
What kind of Mickey Mouse outfit is this with no post production?
Right? Yeah. We're like on the radio. We're playing as we go. So when it come down to the AI, so what do you think about that new opener, especially the video? I added you to the opener, and I'm gonna be doing this with like anybody like on whoever's joining on the show. I'm gonna have like a little video of the person somehow in the opener.
It's awesome, man. I wish I looked that cool in real life.
Oh yeah, man. uh, we went through different versions of. I went through different renders of it, and one of the sequences. Anybody out there, you can see this on my Twitter page. But the scene where my character's flying across the screen in his little jetpack, uh, flies across the screen. You see the logo of the show, but in one generation of it, one rendering of it, the AI decided to do something where the walls exploded with coffee. And when a coffee colored substance is exploding from walls, that usually means you had a pipe burst.
Yep, and it usually doesn't smell like coffee.
It doesn't smell like coffee either. So I was thinking, okay, this is a jank little render, but at the same time, I think using it for if I for as a bumper, if I ever have a sequence where I want to say don't eat there,
Or if you just
bad
want to call something
restaurant
crap.
experience. Yeah, or call something crap. Yeah. So I was gonna keep the render. Feel free to, if anybody wants to see it, go to my Twitter page or x.com/KJ Cowboy Dan, and you can see the render of this very badly done AI thing. It was actually very good, but it was very bad at the same time. Couldn't use it for the opener. But every time I do a new episode of the show, or somebody comes on or whatever, that intro is going to get one step more towards complete.
Yeah.
So next time you come on, there's going to be another add on to like a 5-second ad to the to your character being able to do something. I'm kind of hoping that by the time I'm done with it, it's going to look like one of those 1980s sitcoms, but it'll be based out of the opening sequences. It'll but base it out of like a Route 66 diner.
Cool.
Yeah.
Be like Cheers on Route 66.
Oh yeah, I'd watch that. I'd watch that. Real quick, give a holler over at a couple of people hanging out over on the Twitter side. Lieutenant Garantina, thank you for joining us over there on the Twitter side. Also, thanks for the like on the Twitter post as well. Also, Grand Anthem, thank you for hanging out over there on the Twitter side as well. And thank you for the repost. Much appreciated. Much appreciated. And I believe Grand Anthem is formerly known as Syndicate Void. He's one of my buddies from the old X Street crew that we used to hang out with. So thank you for hanging out on that end. So I did not light off fireworks this year, but I got to watch them from my apartment. I
Oh yeah,
typically try not to. I typically try not to go out and about on holiday weekends since I stopped doing the DJ work. Used to get paid to go out on holidays. Now I don't. So
yeah.
kind of like,
It can be a little unnerving to be out amongst the great unwashed during a holiday. Things get a little rowdy.
oh, it does. Yeah, yeah, it does. I was half tempted to go down to the Waffle House though. It, you know, see,
That's always a party.
hang, but I like the Waffle House at 3 in the morning. Just once again, it was 4th of July and didn't really want to do it. My like right after DJ Longhair's birthday show, I was thinking I'm hungry. I'm gonna take an Uber down to the Waffle House, get myself something to eat, and they're open 24 hours. You know, since the pandemic, nothing else is anymore. It used to be like a bunch of places were open 24 hours to get yourself a late night snack. And so after DJ's show, I was negotiating that, and I'm like, you know what? It's July 3rd, just ended. 4th of July just started. It's going to be a zoo there, and I don't want to be part of a PvP server at the Waffle House on the beginning of 4th of July. So I opted out. A lot of stuff going on out in the world though this week. Last week we talked about like when TCG dude was on, we talked about how like PlayStation is Sony's getting rid of their physical media.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Apparently, they decided to go double down on that even harder, and a lot of people are very angry. The internet has over the last week pretty much blown up about it.
Yeah, the
And
last I
at this,
heard that it was so bad, Sony went radio silent on social media.
yeah, yeah. And then right after Sony went radio silent, Microsoft announced that they're letting go 3,200 employees.
Holy Moses.
Yeah. That's they're probably sales employees or promotional employees. They're going to be going AI for the sales and promotions because they feel like they don't need it for some reason. But
Like 32, that's the population of a small town.
a small town, yeah. Well, a lot of it's also like contracted people, from what I understand. Like they're selling off some of the video game titles, and they're liquidating some of the production houses that they own for video game production. Microsoft hasn't done very well in video game market. They they did for a while back in the 90s on PC, and then Xbox came out and they did pretty good, and they fared well in the console wars for a bit, and then they started losing money to PlayStation, I guess.
Yeah, their market share really started to fall after the Xbox One.
Yeah. Um, One of the very few products that they're keeping is they said they're going towards mobile entertainment. So King, I'm not sure if you're familiar with King, but they did Bejeweled, and they did some of those other Match 3 games
Okay.
on your phone that you can download. I think Soda Crush and Farmville. If you were back in the MySpace or Facebook gaming days, they did all those mobile style games. They're also going to be keeping Minecraft because I guess their new update to that was somewhat of a success.
What about 343? Because they bought Halo from Bungie. And
Right.
got 343 Studios that's in charge of that.
They didn't mention if they were going to be doing anything with that. I know Halo's still a successful product, but they haven't really done much with it other than having Amazon do their show. Um,
I've got feelings about Halo.
yeah. Oh yeah, positive or negative?
Uh, Halo 1 through 3 were some of my favorite games of all time, and they got progressively worse after that. And Infinite, I've never rage quit a game so many times. Like every time I'd get a new story cutscene, I would rage quit the game
Ah,
for
I
just
really
ridiculous.
I played the first two. I liked the first two, and then like I didn't play after that, and then
Oh, you got to do
I
3. 3 was the epitome of Halo.
I have the Halo collection on my Steam. I just haven't installed and played it, and
We used to
it's
do
just
LAN parties for Halo 3. Oh my god.
oh, I remember doing LAN parties. Get all your buddies together, and they
Hmm.
bring their laptops and PCs over, and we'd connect.
Yep. And there's
Yeah.
always that one asshole that forgot the router or you know.
That's
Nope.
probably me. I mean, like, okay, did we get all the tech we need? Did everybody bring everything? Do we have enough wires?
But yeah,
Oh man,
those were
good
good
times.
times.
Yeah. I do know that they're looking. I think Bethesda was one of the companies that they were working with. That they're going to be going indie again, or at least on their they're letting Bethesda not they're it's not going to be part of them anymore.
Really.
Yeah, it's one of the
That's
companies that
that's Fallout and Skyrim, right?
yeah, Fallout and Skyrim. Now
Is
I
that
think they're going indie again. I'm not sure.
now are they gonna sell um, Skyrim and Fallout to Microsoft like Bungie did to get their independence, or are they gonna maintain those properties?
The article I read did not say. It just said that like they're going to be parting ways.
Hmm. I don't know if it would be
Um,
good or
n-
bad because I gotta say the last couple, well, they haven't done anything with Skyrim except re-release it 8 times.
Skyrim's been a while.
Yeah, and Fallout, the last couple were just
Like,
boring.
like I have like I think I have my son bought me the most recent Skyrim, which was Skyrim what V 5 is I think was that
Yeah,
Skyrim 5, yeah, and I think I got as far as like rage quitting after the first like boss, which was a spider.
yep. Oh, did if
Yeah,
the dragons were a nightmare.
yeah. I I I like objective based games, but then like if you make the game just too hard when you're starting a game out, and one of the things that they like a lot of games do is they assume that you know how to play the game by the time you go into the game. Give me a tutorial, I let me learn the game before you put me into the game.
Yeah, have a little care for the old heads.
Like I grew up with like a two-button controller, the size of half the size of a dollar bill, or a joystick and an arcade cabinet,
Yep, the whole joystick one button controller.
right, you know, first game I played was a giant ball mouse and a single button on a cabinet called Missile Command. You know, I can play games. I'm an old game head, but I just don't like getting into these games. If you can't just throw me in there without like some sort of tutorial. Like my video game controller that my son got me literally has like more buttons than I can imagine using.
Yeah, and the play mechanics for some of these games are so complicated because you've got aspects, you've got crafting you have to do, and you've got exploration, and you've got oh, it's a lot.
Yeah,
I've
this
almost
this
got to the
control.
point where if a game has crafting in it, where you have to craft the resources you use, I'm almost to the point where I just don't play those anymore because it becomes such a time suck.
Yeah, yeah. A lot of these survival games are that way. Like there are some crafting games that I could deal with, like a little bit more simpler. You know, like I can play Minecraft for hours. It's like Legos,
Hmm.
but that's the whole point of the game. Is you
Right.
dig and you make something. You dig and you make something. Oh, and there's a way to beat the game should you guys want to play the game to beat a game. But these other survival games, you're sitting there, you're building a base, building this. You got to build this thing. You got to build this thing. You can't do this unless you do that. You can't do this unless you do that. And then it's like, okay. Oh, and now you need to have a party of people.
Yep.
Can't I just
Or
play a game without having to log online and have like a group of people that I don't know play a game with me?
exactly what? Why does gaming have to be social?
Right. Sometimes you just want to get home from work, crack open a brew, sit down at your television, turn on the console, or sit down at your computer, just sit there and play a brain dead game and relax.
Yep.
You know,
Wholesale murder and alien civilization just for fun.
hey, exactly. You know, oh man, I could play just about any game back in the day, you know. I mean, I think I beat like Legend of Zelda, and a lot of people are like you never beat Legend of Zelda. Nobody really beat Legend of Zelda. I'm like, no, I beat Legend of Zelda within about a couple weeks of having it, you know. And then Majora's Mask, and like from there, like I remember Quake.
Oh yeah.
I don't, you know, I don't think I beat that one. I think I played it forever, and I don't think I ever beat it though.
That one's a dungeon crawler in the spirit
Yeah,
of Doom, right?
yeah, sci-fi ish though. Yeah, with a sci-fi aesthetic. Yeah, I loved that game. I just re-downloaded those to my computer. I was thinking about doing a nostalgic run through those games.
My favorite dungeon crawler was Ultimate Alliance, the Marvel game that they did. I adored that game. And I loved all the little Easter eggs they had. Like if you made a team with Hulk, Spider-Man, Ghost Rider, and Wolverine, it would give you a little bonus for the new Fantastic Four.
Oh,
Just those, little Easter eggs like that for the comic fans. I loved.
I do like a lot of the dungeon crawler games from back in the day. You know, what was it? I picked it up for nostalgic purposes.
Like Gauntlet.
Gauntlet, yeah, and Gauntlet. That's exactly the game. Picked it up for nostalgic purposes, and they just re-released it. Uh, they have like the first three games that you can buy the cabinet games, and you can buy them as, in a 3 pack. And I picked that up, and I also picked up the newest version of Gauntlet, which it's all right. It's not exactly the the best rendition of it, but you know, it's still an has that overhead view, you know, that you got from Gauntlet. You can still play up to players on it.
And your elf still needs food badly.
Oh yeah. Um, I do enjoy those games. I'm an arcade head. I prefer like the old arcade classics. When I worked at Namco Arcades when I was 16 years old. One of my first jobs. I'd go down to Southern California every year, and I'd get a job at the Namco Arcade.
That sounds awesome.
Oh, it's great. You know, I'm gonna sit there when the arcade was dead, play video games for free. Oh, I enjoyed that. Yeah, wasn't much of a home gamer though. You know, until I got my Super Nintendo was good. I enjoyed that, and then I got the Sega Genesis. I didn't have many games for that. For some reason, the Sega Genesis was a little bit more expensive, and we just lost Dan. He'll hopefully he pops back in here real quick. While we'll wait for Dan to show back up. Hey, Captain Garantina, how you doing today? Hope you're doing all right. Hope you're doing all right. There you go. You disappeared off into the ethereal void for a second there.
Sorry, somebody called my phone and it like messed up the stream. So how dare somebody want to talk to me?
Oh, yeah. Well, that whatever had happened, it boosted your audio like a bit. So nice.
Cool.
And so yeah, you didn't really miss much. I was just talking about working at that old arcade. But no, back to the topic though. So since PlayStation went radio silent, Microsoft Gaming decided that they were going to take another nosedive, and we talked about how they were letting go employees in a sense from marketing down to the production houses.
Man.
It kind of sucks for them because I remember Microsoft back in the day when they were famous for having like the flight simulator game, and that was Flight Simulator and like a couple of the games that you had on your computer, and I was Minesweeper guy. You know, I can play Minesweeper for hours.
Yes, I've actually got it on my phone.
Oh yeah.
Yep. I've even got Linux on my phone.
I always tell people, "Oh, Linux." I'm wanting to go to a Linux system. I heard that once you go Linux, you'll never go back to Windows or Apple.
Yeah, I'm starting to learn my way around Linux. I've just migrated a laptop over from Windows to Linux, and it's working, and I'm learning the commands and everything. But so far, all I'm really doing with it is booting it up and updating running the updates every couple of weeks.
I wouldn't know what to do with the Linux PC unless I knew what to do with it. Like I just grew up on a Windows computer.
Oh yeah, I can.
You know,
I can make a Windows machine sit up and bark, but yeah. Ever since they've started integrating the AI and all this other stuff, it's not even what it used to be.
See, I don't want the computer to think for me too much. I want to be able to go, okay, here's what I'm doing. Let me do what I want unless I ask it to. Don't need it to like recommend spelling changes or sentence structures in the word processor, and I want to be able to play whatever games I have when I want to play games without it going, okay, do you want us to assist with this or assist with that or whatever, you know? No need for Copilot to just go, hello, I see you're trying to do this. Thank you, Copilot. Now go mind your own business.
Yeah, exactly. They're trying to shove AI everywhere to try to monetize, to try to recoup all the money they're dumping into developing it. And they're just putting it in places where it does not belong.
Oh, yeah. Let AI be a tool. Don't let it be the main feature.
Yes.
I think that's one of the reasons why people are kind of agitated with AI. There's a lot of people who are very anti-AI. I get it all the time because, you know, I use it for a tool, and I use it a lot, but also very minimally in comparison to how other people use it.
Yeah,
and
I understand the hate against it for art, and of course, you know, it's taking jobs too. That's a big thing. I'm a big believer in useful work. I think people need something fulfilling to put their hands to, and if you take away our job, and if you give it, you know, the jobs, and if you give it the art, what's even the point of being human anymore?
Yeah.
Then you're just a sheep sitting around eating whatever the AI feeds you.
Oh, exactly. It becomes a little much. Windows 12, they're saying that is going to be uh, a lot of the AI features like added into it. Like Windows 12 is virtually going to be Windows Copilot or something. When they release it, they keep on bumping it back because of issues. TCG dude, back to the gaming conversation. He said Diablo 2's goated. Yeah, Diablo 2 was probably one of the better of the Diablo games. Wasn't a big fan of the other ones that they did after Diablo 2. I think they did like what Diablo Infinite, which was the phone version, and then they did what Diablo 3 and 4 as well. And that the most recent one you have is like membership only. Yeah. Not a big fan of pay to play especially once you've invested into a game or whatever. Fortunately Blizzard has changed their way on a lot of the like, okay, well they're going to do the services, but they're not going to do they're not going to charge you to buy the game, or if they do charge you to buy the game, they're still like, a lot of these companies are still like asking you to pay for the monthly service for the what they're calling seasons now.
Oh, for the DLC drops.
Yeah, give me the full game. If you want me to buy like a monthly season of something and or whatever, just give me the full game. I'd rather an objective based game that just like, here's the beginning, here's the end. Call of Duty was great back in the day. Now it's all seasonal DLCs.
Right. Yeah, it's just a subscription service. A whole you pour money into.
Oh, I'm agitated with these shooter games. I used to love first person shooters, but now they're all like fish in a barrel games.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's sitting there just shooting at each other and no longer getting good games with the being able to play a game that's like, I'm going to start the game. I'm going to go through the objective, like Ghost Recon on my old Xbox. Oh, I love that game. You're running through Mexico trying to get the save the president. Boom, the whole game.
Yep.
Just going through different map after map. With the objective to. You got to get the briefcase. You got to get the nuke codes. You got to save the president, wipe out the cartel, and game's over.
And then if you want to,
like
you can
that.
sign online and play some rounds with your friends.
Right, exactly. But they pretty much the concept of objective games are pretty much not there anymore.
One thing I noticed, and like, I have no plans on buying a new generation of gaming console because I looked at the games coming out, and most of the franchises that I enjoyed are dead in the water. Halo, Assassin's Creed, stuff like that. Not a lot of good stuff coming. I'm not seeing a lot of ads for interesting new properties. So I have no incentive to go out and buy a new console because I have no interest in the games that they're putting out.
No, especially with the last Assassin's Creed, it's like a lot of people had a lot of problems with the last Assassin's Creed. There was certain things I saw about it. I'm like, oh man, the world looks really good in the art, and then the NPCs, they didn't have much of a storyline.
Yeah.
If you're gonna, don't send me on like if you're gonna give me missions to do things, to collect things, to these things, at least give me like worthwhile adventures.
Or failing that, worthwhile loot.
Oh, you have to buy the loot nowadays.
It's nickel and
buy
dime
the loot nowadays.
Crap.
Yeah. Okay. Then you're gonna do in-app purchases as well as the DLCs.
Yeah.
at least I can understand the DLCs. The DLCs are virtually, as long as they don't expire, those DLCs are virtually the expansion packs we would have bought in the early 2000s.
Yeah, exactly. And they overcharge for them. Or what I hate is when they take a DLC pack and then they, instead of putting it out as DLC, they'll repackage it and sell it as like a sequel to the game.
Right. And it's not a sequel to the game. And if it was, then let me be able to play the original version of the game. And then sometimes they're like, okay, well, we've had this update to the game. And then like the levels that you were working on are no longer there.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And it's
I'm like, oh,
ends
great.
up just being a reskin. And they've done that with, they did that with Far Cry 5. The New Dawn was just a reskinned DLC. The Miles Morales Spider-Man game was a reskin of the first game that was just supposed to be DLC for the first game.
Right.
There's been a couple of those, and they're never as good. The only one that I've ever enjoyed was Arkham Origins.
I haven't played any of the Arkham games.
Oh,
those are all what? Those are all PlayStation, right?
No, those are cross-platform.
No,
You can get those
okay.
on Xbox.
All right. I'll have to see if I can find some of the older ones. I have up to the Xbox One, so I'm pretty sure I'd be able to find some of them.
The Origins was not. You have a lot of trouble finding Origins today because of this. It wasn't made with the main studio. Rocksteady, I think, was the Rockstar. I don't remember which studio made them, but yeah, they went to somebody else to do Arkham Origins. And to me, that was one of the better titles. So if you can lay your hands on that one, I definitely recommend that one. But it's kind of hard to get. If I want to play it, I got to fire up my old Xbox 360.
Yeah. I just threw it into my list of gotta look for games. If I can get it on like Xbox 360, Xbox, man, those were my systems. Pretty much, I enjoyed the Xbox, and I enjoyed the size of the controller.
Oh, those things
Like
were
it wasn't
huge.
like it wasn't like as bulky as the Dreamcast that Sega did. Now that was like an awkwardly bulky controller. But like I think Xbox started to go, okay, we're going to start slimming these down just a little bit. I still feel like the PlayStation controllers are a little small for my hands.
Yeah, when the 360 controller came out, to me, that was the perfect size controller for my hand. Because the OG Xbox controller, remember the black and white button?
Yeah,
I had the devil of a time trying to get those. I mean, I could reach them, but it was so awkward.
yeah, they were just a little too big. With everything being like right, certain buttons like being right in the dead center, and the size of the controller right there, with your thumbs only can reach so far.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
they replaced those with the shoulder buttons, and that was, to me, a much better fit.
I do like the shoulder buttons. Although I forget that, especially now that you have you got shoulder triggers and you got the shoulder buttons. So you got those triggers, which I like the triggers.
Those are definitely good for first-person shooters.
Yeah, like I said, the new controller that my son got me, though, it's got it's Xbox compatible, right? But it's got your standard Xbox controller configurations. Then it's got like multiple other buttons on it, and it's like programmable for your computer, and you can program it. And I lose track of what buttons are which.
Oh yeah, especially if you can hot swap them. So for this game, it'll be these functions, and this other game, it'll be these functions. That can get confusing as hell.
Although I have been because it's I can use the controller as kind of a macro pad, and I am working on setting up the macros because I can set it up as a macro pad, and I can use the controller, the joystick, to control where my guy goes on the screen.
Oh, look at there.
So I mean, hey,
A little free agency there.
if I wanted to, like, I usually use it for like when we're doing like music nights on DJ Longhair's channel. I'll like have my guy dance around, and I'll just hold the controller. Hey, I can do the, you know, make myself small. I like to make myself small and do the old Windows screensaver routine. Boom, 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 boom. I'm half tempted to one day like just make a little video of it in the of myself doing a little Windows screensaver and make a screensaver, even though nobody ever uses screensavers anymore.
Yep. Remember, you used to be able to pause after you paused a DVD. The little DVD logo would come up and bounce around the screen.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. There's things that the kids nowadays just don't get.
Yeah.
You
Well, if you
were
say DVD, they look at you like you're stupid.
Oh yeah, yeah. Yeah, and it's like, come on, they still sell them. Oh, what are those? Come on, you know what a DVD is. You've seen them in Walmart. Oh, those movies in the $5 bin that mom and dad always buy.
Yep.
Stop saying that, kid. I'm gonna take you out of this world. I grew up with VHS and Betamax.
Oh yeah.
And if you grew up with VHS and Betamax, you knew Betamax was the better format. They just didn't have as good advertising.
Oh yeah. The round one of the home video format wars.
Yeah.
It was Betamax and VHS. Then you had mini disc and DVD. Or
Let's not forget Laserdisc.
Laserdisc.
For the big ones. Oh man, I have Terminator 2 on Laserdisc.
Can you imagine if they put out a movie like Avatar on Laserdisc? You'd have like 3 or 4 discs trying to watch that movie.
See, I would just like to see them like bring back the physical media. Like I know a lot of companies are like kind of like doing like pseudo releases of the physical media. In some countries, particularly in India, where like streaming media is not as prominent because of the availability of internet out that way, particularly for a lot of the more what would be considered not necessarily third world, but nearly
more
there.
Impoverished. The more impoverished regions.
They're still releasing. Disney's still releasing physical media out in those countries. They're just eliminating it here, and just like everybody else is eliminating it here in more Western, in the more Western countries.
Yeah, they all seem to be embracing that adage: "You will own nothing and be happy."
I will own nothing and be happy. See, I thought that was going to be a great idea. Going digital. I thought, we can get our movies on SD cards. Or some sort of little micro. My cat just changed my background on my screen. I just realized that. Oh well,
that's a talented cat.
He lays down on my keyboard. He thinks it's an ergonomic cat bed or something.
I think he just sees you paying it more attention than him. And
yeah, he's Q is like very attention starved all the time. The other one, Seven. I have 2 cats named after Star Trek characters, and they both fit their Trek persona. Seven, she's full of attitude, and Q is full of mischief.
I'll dig it.
Yeah, orange cat syndrome for the one, tuxedo cat syndrome for the other.
The stories are true.
Yeah. Well, look at that. We've almost hit our hour marker.
And haven't said
Uh,
one word about the topics that we.
oh yeah. We were talking about we were going to I was going to talk about the leaks for the Marvel just got in random chat. See, this is what mornings do to me sometimes, especially after a holiday. We were going to talk about, and we can still talk about it for a little bit, as long as you have a little bit of time.
Please.
So the recently the Avengers movie that's supposed to be coming out, Doomsday. They've released some spoilers, and a lot of people have been covering it. Now, I'm not sure how accurate these spoilers are because they are from a YouTuber, but the YouTuber does tend to get pretty accurate spoilers. We're not going to cover the spoilers themselves, but we were going to talk about do spoilers hurt the films on release? And sometimes I believe that they do. Sometimes I believe that they don't. What
Well,
do you think?
I think it depends on the situation. I remember back when Endgame was going to come out, and there were fan theories and supposed plot leaks and all the stuff coming out, and none of it was true. It was just engagement farming.
Right.
And it does. I mean, they say there's no such thing as bad publicity. So probably from the movie studio side, as long as people are talking about it, they probably see that as a good thing. So they might even be putting out fake spoilers themselves just to keep the machine churning and keep the name Doomsday, in people's mentions.
Right.
But if they're plot leaks, it's a two-edged sword, because if it's a plot leak and somebody's like, no, you just broke the movie, or somebody says, well, I've read the plot leaks, they're not interesting, now why do I have to see the movie, you could also end up hurting yourself. So if they are doing it on purpose, it's potentially a double-edged sword.
Yeah, that's what I feel too. Like, there's a lot of don't leak the plot. I don't really want to see a movie that that the plot leaks are like massive negativity on the plot leaks or whatever, or too much of the movies being released, or like, I'm a lorist, so I kind of like the original the character lines. Like, I was kind of disappointed like when it turned out that, oh no, the Infinity Saga is not the Infinity Saga. We got characters that we can't use, so we're changing the storyline. Well, okay, I can understand that to a certain degree. I mean, I wish they would have chose a different line to cover. I mean, with the Infinity War, but they found an interesting way to go about it, and I'll still watch it. I'll still watch the Marvel movies and just go, okay, this is not the 616 that I'm used to. I grew
Exactly.
up
And
with
it's not. The Marvel Cinematic Universe is its own universe. And
right,
that's helped me keep my sanity. It's just
right. It's
reminding
its own
myself.
universe. And if you're a comic book person, a lot of people's like, oh, a lot of people who aren't comic book people are like, oh, the multiverse is like overplayed. Well, Marvel's been doing it since the 70s.
Yeah, and DC
Marvel's
has
been
been doing
doing
it
it.
since the 40s.
Right. So like, every time you have kind of like they kill off Charles Xavier and they bring him back, you kind of got to think about it as like, this is just like kind of like a variant universe than what you had 2 months ago.
Mm-hmm. Good old head
I'm not.
canon.
Yeah. You got to have the head canon. Like, like, even though I don't want to see them kill off Charles Xavier in this next movie. He says it's going to be his last. Patrick Stewart says it's going to be his last movie. Although there is a rumor that he's going to be coming back to do another season of Picard. So that might be his last project, and this is his last movie. But I just like, I've watched them kill off Charles Xavier in these movies, what, 4 times now?
Something like that.
And I'm like, okay, can we not kill him off this time? Just like, you know,
Yeah, it's like blowing up the Enterprise after the search for Spock, and they blew up the Enterprise, and it was such a big, shocking moment. Now, just like every third Star Trek movie, they blow up the Enterprise,
Oh yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
it's just become one of those things that now you just expect them to blow up, and it's lost all of its meaning.
Well, we blew up half the Enterprise once, and then kept the saucer section, just crash landed it.
Yep. But they still ended up with a whole new Enterprise.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know how like a show like Knight Rider would go if you blew up Kit every episode. Just saying, you know. Or the A-Team van, you know, Mr. T. Well, we got to get a new van.
No. Mr. T would build a new van out of your bones if you blew up the A-Team van.
Yeah, right. You know, love it when a plan comes to action. But no, you know, these spoilers and whatnot, they do help to a certain degree, but they don't. You know, I mean, you know, I think what hurts the films though is people talking. I think people hurt the film more than the spoilers themselves. See, I don't mind spoilers. After all, I go and see trailers, and half the time you go and see the trailer, and you're like, okay, if it's gonna be a bad film, you're gonna see all the good stuff in the trailer.
Yes. Every time.
You know,
That's.
but
I only watch. It's gotten to the point now, and if there's more than one trailer that comes out, I only watch the first version of the trailer.
nah,
I don't watch clips. I don't watch more trailers. I don't rewatch that trailer. I just try to get a basic idea of what the movie's about and stop, because the movies are so formulaic now
right.
that just it doesn't take very many context clues to give you the entire movie.
Right. You know, and I don't mind so much the fact that these movies come out with multiple trailers, if as long as they're teasers and not like full on sequences. Like back in the day, you'd get one trailer for the movie, and that would be a series of sequences, which would be okay. But now you have like the Super Bowl trailer, you have the Coca-Cola trailer, you have the whatever sponsor you're working with and their trailer. You have all these different options for what trailer, what that you're watching for. Like Doomsday itself, I watched the trailer for on Super Bowl, which was like just a real simple teaser trailer. I thought it'd probably be more. A lot of people were very disappointed with the Super Bowl trailer for Doomsday, and I'm like, oh, that was a good trailer. It's very simple. Then right after Doomsday, that Super Bowl trailer, they started releasing like different trailers for each character that's in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, no, it's just giving way too much of the movie away. I don't want to end up having somebody to be able to piece together a 20-minute breakdown of the movie before the movie happens.
I'll tell you what ruined trailers and clips for me was the Green Lantern movie. I was so excited about that movie coming out that every time they released a clip or a new trailer, I watched it multiple times. And when I got into the theater, I realized I had seen that whole movie.
Yeah.
Before I ever got to the theater. And I cursed myself up and down for doing that. And ever since then, I go as into a movie as cold as I possibly can.
Yeah. I don't
even
really...
movies like Alien Romulus. Do you remember the trailer for Alien Romulus was basically the movie like in order?
Yeah. Alien Romulus, like the storyline for the Alien sequels, I feel like you don't really need much. Just give me a trailer on those. Storyline, the more drawn out or the more action, you know, if you have a lot of character build up, it's typically very drawn out, and it's okay. You kind of get like in the trailers a basic idea of the character and a basic idea of the story. You want a hook. The whole concept of having these trailers and these spoilers that do come out is supposed to be just a hook to get you into the cinema. You know, a hook to be able to get you to want to buy the ticket to see what it's actually about. Uh, and with leaks and stuff, and in my opinion, like the problem with seeing these trailers or these leaks and reading them, and yeah, I get it, a lot of YouTubers pretty much, if we're making money, we're not, but if you are, a lot of people are on YouTube, you know, those people, their whole job is to break down something to the point where, is it worth going to see? Well, if you you know, if you're rage baiting everybody, this is one of the reasons why, like, I love Nerdrotic and their channel, but and a lot of these other channels that are out there, but they've gotten to rage baiting the movies based off of the multiple trailers you're getting. And I'm gonna watch the one trailer. I think I watched two of the trailers for of the handful of trailers they put out for Spider-Man, just so that way I can just not ruin it for myself, because I grew up with Spider-Man, you know, reading the Marvel Spider-Man stuff. And one of the Spider-Man trailers, which made me really want to see this Spider-Man movie, is they had reenactments of like 4 different Spider-Man covers.
Yes, at least I think I've seen more.
Yeah, you know, like it was a nostalgia grab in the trailers, absolutely. But seeing like the way that they read, you know, what they had Tarantula, the scene where Tarantula is fighting Spider-Man near the water tower. They had Hulk uh, on top of a building doing his thunderclap at Spider-Man, you know.
The Amazing Fantasy 15 cover.
Yeah. You know, there's a whole bunch of references, even like uh the cover where Spider-Man's sitting there and the hand is like, the whole hand is just jumping at him, you know.
Yep.
Incredible reenactments of a few covers shown in the trailers, and I'm like, okay, this is all I need to see. I'm done not watching any more trailers for this movie.
And the thing I really like about that is, instead of showing you, I don't think they're showing you the story in those clips. I think what they're doing, I think there's going to be a montage of like basically what Peter's been up to since No Way Home. And it's going to just be a quick montage of him fighting Boomerang, Tarantula, the Hand, and you're just going to get those in clips. I don't think those are going to be big major story points. But one of the things they do is they signal to me that the director at least took the time to look at some Spider-Man comics.
Right. Which is
some of these
more than what a lot of them have.
Exactly. So he's basically signaling, look, I may not be the world's biggest Spider-Man fan like you are, but I took the time to do my due diligence. So here's a little eye candy for you.
Well, look at the Russo brothers when they were doing the X-Men movies. They went out of their way to beg Hugh Jackman not to read the comics. He said that he wouldn't read them anyway. They went out of their way, and even Disney went out of their way to tell the actors in the current Marvel universe not to read the comics. You know, and
because
it's saddening.
They're not interested. They're not interested in writing the Spider-Man that's in the comics. They're interested in writing themselves.
Right. You know, right. You want to see yourself in a character, but you want the audience to see yourself in the character, not you seeing yourself in the character. And I understand it's a lot easier to write yourself than it is to write somebody else. But that just tells me that you're not a good writer.
If writing is your profession, then you got to be able to do the hard stuff.
to quote Jack Nicholson in that one movie where he's a novelist and he says, "Well,
As
I
good
don't
as it
write
gets.
myself." Yeah, as good as it gets. I don't write myself. I think about a woman, and then I think about crazy, and I write crazy. You know, you know, write something else. Write something that you want to see and that you think other people are going to want to see. And because once you start writing yourself, I'm not going to talk about politics or anything, but unfortunately that gets into it. And then you get like idealism, and then you get like uh, things that don't work in film, and sure, you got then you have to end up cutting out these storylines and plot lines, and you have big old plot holes, and Marvel's full of plot holes because of these reshoots and rewrites and whatever. We've already shot this much. We can't go back to square one and be too expensive.
That
You
fourth
know,
Captain America movie was hard to watch, not as a commentary on the film itself, but because it was such a Frankenstein's monster of things that they'd filmed out of sequence. And, they filmed this sequence when it was going to be this story, and they filmed this sequence was going to be the other story. But we got to find out a way to make these two sequences work together. I mean, it was a Frankenstein's monster of a movie. There were scenes where you would see two people talking and they would be in the same frame of the camera, but you could look at that frame and know that those two people were not in the same room at the same time recording those lines.
right? That's another thing with voiceover work as well. That when you film something and now you got to voice over the thing, and you have somebody off screen talking while you have the one guy on screen talking, and it's like, okay, the off screen voice does not match what was being said or whatever, and you got a lot of that. It does create a hard watch. And people are like, well, you guys got to use separation of disbelief and fill the holes with whatever, And I can do that to a certain degree, but
that's as the audience, that's not our job. Filling in the plot holes, that is like job number one of the writer.
right.
It is a cohesive, complete, sensible story.
This is where I hope that you're right with Spider-Man, that it's going to be a montage in certain sequences when he's going after this large gallery of villains that's going to be in this movie. And I do hope that they treat that right. I don't mind the fan grab. I don't mind all this other stuff. But give me something that's put together right. If it's going to have we're going to jump from here. It's going to be a little time skip. We're going to go to here, a little time skip, whatever. Fill in the plot blanks, whatever with, okay, little fight, little fight, little fight. And here's like the big thing, whether they're building up some weird version of the Sinister Six or doing whatever they're going to do, who knows? At least we get like a montage sequence. And that's what I'm hoping for, like you were saying. Now with I'm just also worried about throwing in too many characters. Like,
Exactly.
while
if that's not going to be a montage, then yeah, that movie is going to be so glutted with characters that it's ridiculous.
yeah, so it's like I understand with where Disney wants to go, and where things may be going beyond the plot leaks and whatnot. Going with Battle World. Battle World usually serves as a purpose that, in Marvel Comics at least, to kind of do a soft reboot on the 616. And
well, they did that not with what was the comic? Oh, it was Secret War. They redid Secret War.
Yeah.
For the like third or fourth time, and that ended up being where Doctor Doom was basically the glue that held a new Battle World together.
Right.
And I think that's the direction they're going to go with this, and use that to reboot the MCU after Secret War.
I really hope that the rumors are not true to a certain degree regarding, and I really want to see the Beyonder.
You know, I'm so used to them just using titles that have nothing to do with the story that I hadn't even considered the Beyonder being in.
Yeah. Yeah. Cause like really, catalyst to a certain degree of a lot of the secret war stuff had the Beyonder involved, you know. So like kind of like I really want to see the Beyonder, you know. Uh I mean Beyonder's not pulled out too often, you know, and I think it'd be an interesting storyline. But I do look forward to seeing where they're gonna go. Hopefully they don't disappoint too much. It is going to be a huge cast, and I'm worried about that, as I always am when there's too many plot lines to keep track of.
Yep. Oh my God. Have you seen the first couple episodes of X-Men 97?
Not of
Season
this
two?
new season, not new season yet. I have to re up I have to re up my Disney Plus. But from what I've been reading, they're building towards Onslaught.
They're building towards something. That those first 3 episodes that they dropped were so dense that it was almost hard to keep track of, because you've got the main team of X-Men that is split into 2 parts, and they're each in a different timeline. Then in the present, you've got X Factor and X Force. So you've got essentially 4 different X-Men teams in 3 different timelines running around doing stuff. It's a lot.
It's still a 22-minute episodes.
Yeah. That's why they dumped 3 episodes at once, because otherwise you'd have been so lost at just trying to keep
I
up.
hope it's a full length season, you know, and not like an 8 episode season or something. I really don't like when these streaming networks do do these things in short seasons if they're going to make it so big.
Well, the last season they did get a lot in just a couple episodes. I want to say it was 10 or 12 episodes. I don't remember, but they were very dense. But I loved season 1.
Right.
Bo DeMayo definitely understood the assignment there, and that's another
I
thing that makes
liked
me question season 2.
I liked season 1. Yeah, you said he wasn't in this. He wasn't the showrunner for the season 2, was he?
Yeah, he got in trouble with somebody at the studio, and they kicked him out. I don't remember all the details, and I don't want to go, saying stuff that ain't true, but he got let go. He's on there as an executive producer, and I think they said they used his show notes to frame the outline for season 2. But
Makes sense.
I don't really know, how much of it is his and how much of it is the new showrunner.
Well, now that they've gotten the new CEO over there at Disney, who I assume they're trying to bring back the Eisner days by bringing in somebody from the theme parks. This new this new CEO said that pretty much they don't have time because of the release schedule that they have to send a lot of things back to rewrites and refilms and recastings and all this other stuff that they would do normally if a show doesn't look like it's going to pan out, or a movie doesn't look like it's going to pan out. So it's probably going to be a couple years till we see like the quality and also content change in regards to these shows on Disney Plus and in this Disney movies that's being released. But he does seem to want to go back to something more traditional. He's been saying. So I don't know. We'll see about that. I'm hoping that they do regarding fuller seasons, so that way when you do have a lot of stuff crammed in there, you at least have some time to be able to absorb it.
Yeah, that's one of the things they do with these short streaming show seasons is they make it one long story that goes 6 or 8 episodes. But in order to stretch it that far, they put in so much filler and so much dead air. I watched that god awful Hulu series, Alien Earth, And for 8 episodes, nothing happened. It was the most boring waste of television I have ever sat through. I hated every second of it.
Yeah, I didn't watch it, but I heard nothing really good, and made me want to watch it more because I like watching negative reviews on things. If I'm gonna see something that has a negative review, I'd rather go in with a negative review, come out going, okay, you know what? I lowered my expectations. It was better than I expected.
Yep. And that's how I went into both He-Man and Supergirl. And I had a blast in He-Man. And, well, Supergirl was Supergirl.
Supergirl was Supergirl, but the way you put it together, as long as I don't go in and when I do take the time to watch Supergirl, as long as I don't go in expecting a Supergirl movie and I'll expect a good sci-fi movie at least,
Yeah, and that's there's room for that kind of stuff too. Like Predator Badlands, when I reviewed that for somebody, I said if you're a Predator purist, you're gonna hate this movie. But if you're just looking for a fun, brain dead summer blockbuster flick that's a good sci-fi action, then yes, Badlands will be a perfectly fine movie and you'll enjoy it.
A lot of people felt that way about the like Alien versus Predator stuff. But then a lot of people were waiting for like what they saw in like those comic book one shots for Alien versus Predator. So, it all depends on what you're looking for in a film, I guess, in that case scenario. Like,
and that goes back to what we were talking about earlier about expectations and leaks. Leaks can set expectations for a film. And that can definitely lead to people either not going to see it or having their perception of what they think they're getting. And if they don't get that, that could upset them. Or if, what they thought they were getting wasn't going to be as good, it could, delight them.
Yeah. So don't go into a movie expecting something. Go into a movie with a blank slate, preferably. Or if you do go into a movie expecting something, try to make it so that way your expectations are lower than you're going to get. It's going to turn out to be a better movie. One of the things I noticed with the Spider-Man release, and we were talking about this yesterday on in text message, I noticed that they're doing some re-releases of Spider-Man covers, Spider-Man issues, Amazing Spider-Man, and a few other Spider-Man stuff. I think it's to promote for the new movie because some of the covers are characters and issues that have been teased in the trailer. And a lot of people I know in a lot of the collector communities are not thrilled with reprints. I personally like reprints because it gives me a chance to replace my readers, and I don't have to put my readers through the damage that that the older books go through when you pull them out of their plastic sleeves and reread them and reread them and reread them. So I kind of like the concept of a lot of these reprints, but a lot of people don't because it lowers their values. Now, I'm in the Magic the Gathering circuit, and recently they did a couple of Marvel drops for Magic the Gathering with Marvel theme. I'm not sure if you're into that.
My son is, so I know a little bit about it.
But the most recent set they dropped a bunch of covers for Kirby covers and a couple other covers for in card form, and which they did multiple times. They did it with the Skybox Marvel trading cards, and they did it with when Topps did a Marvel trading set as well. And they're just the same covers that they put on these, and when they release these trading cards with the covers on them. And I think that like doing a lot of reprints or recovers or these reprints of things with the nostalgia, they just keep on reprinting the same ones over and over again. That's my problem with a lot of the reprints, and it's like give me an issue that I would like to fill a hole in my collection just for the storyline. If you're gonna do a reprint, give me something that's a storyline I haven't read as often.
Right. Well, I mean, I think what it comes down to from now, I don't collect for value, so I can't comment about it diminishing the value of, but I don't see how a reprint would diminish the value of a first printing because the even if they sell out their first printing and the company immediately does a second printing like they did with Death of Superman, those are always marked as reprints.
Right.
So those are only good for reading.
Not only
Nobody,
marked as reprints, but you have your like back in the day, we had our our shelf comics, we had our comic book comics, comic book shop comics, and then we had our subscription comics. And they would like the store comics would have the little barcode on it. The comics that would be on the shelf at the comic book shop would, where the barcode would be, they had a picture of Spider-Man or something in the bottom corner where the barcode used to be. And then your subscription comics wouldn't even have anything there. It'd be a full art, no barcode area, and those were kind of sweet that we had those options. And that kind of like added to the value of them if you were into the value. I wasn't really a value person. I like to be able to pull up my comic books and read them what they're intended for. While I do have a few that I would like to sit there and go, okay, these would be family heirlooms if anybody in my family gave as much of a care as I do about my comic books or any of my other collectibles.
Yeah, the collectible market is a funny thing because things just go up and down in value so much over just weird stuff. Like the Moon Knight #1. If I walked into the comic shop 10 years ago and bought that, it would probably have been worth 15, 20 bucks.
Yeah.
5 years ago, it was worth 80 bucks because the show was coming out on Disney Plus.
Right.
Now it's back down to like 20, 30 bucks because the show cratered and nobody really cares anymore. So
right,
just such weird things drive the value of these things. And so I don't see how some reprints that some kids are going to read and throw away of Amazing Fantasy 15 is in any way, shape, or form going to take away from the value of an actual Amazing Fantasy 15 first edition.
Right.
Because they're not even really the same comic.
Right, exactly. Also, when it comes down to reprints, I like them on top of filling the holes. I don't like omnibuses as much as I like getting the issues, and because the omnibus, when you get the omnibus of these at your bookshop, and it's like, okay, you have this thick comic book that's virtually a novelized version of every single episode or issue that you've had, but they're not, because they're leaving out the filler issues, and they're leaving out the issues that that crossed over with some of the other lines in order to build that storyline.
Or what they'll do, and this I hate even more, is they'll give you just like the 2 or 3 pages from that issue that deal with the story that you're reading in that omnibus. So,
right.
If that covers, say Batman #6 through 12, but they mention something in Batman #10 that ties into it, they'll take like 2 pages of Batman issue 10, put it there in the front, and then you've got the
right. Yeah. So like I like the reprints on that in that thought process because they work for me, but they don't work for a lot of other people. And it's a good way to promote a film. Like I remember when they were doing the Infinity Saga for the movies, and they started re-releasing the Infinity Gauntlet. I'm like,
Yeah.
Yes. I was so stoked. I was really hoping that we were going to get well, a lot of people weren't too thrilled with the love triangle between Thanos, Lady Death, and Deadpool. I kind of thought that that was like the main storyline, and the way the like Thanos destroys everybody, pretty much kills off almost everybody in the Marvel universe, and you see the depictions of them, just the bodies of like your favorite heroes lying on the floor, uh, in piles of superheroes, and we're reduced to Thanos making his snap the way he did in the movies, and everybody just turns to dust.
Yeah. The the thing about the MCU versus the comic lines is one of the things I appreciated is they found a way to make those stories work despite not having necessarily all the tools in the toolbox that they had in the comic.
Right.
They didn't have the full stable of characters. And so
Yeah.
instead of just trying to shoehorn somebody else in there, they made it work with what they had.
Yeah.
So kudos to them for that. You know, while yes, I would have liked to have seen Lady Death, the what are they called? The cosmic abstracts had not been invented in Marvel,
Yeah.
in the MCU. So instead of trying to, you know, shoehorn Lady Death in there and explain who she was and do all this catch up because they've never introduced her before, they just left that part out.
Yeah. I feel like they did her dirty also in the Hagatha, when they finally introduced her in that Hagatha series.
Yes.
The Agatha Heartless series. I was like, yeah, okay, you know.
I mean, it was a neat
I
little
would,
nod to the comics that you've got Lady Death in there, but also that's not how Lady Death be at all.
yeah, it was an interesting nod indeed. And with the Scarlet Witch, and I think we'll end it on this thought process because I have a whole rant about it in the long run, so I don't want to get into it. But with the thought process of Scarlet Witch, Agatha Heartless, and a few other characters, and dealing with the Darkhold, I and then they tried to use the Darkhold for a while in the Agents of Shield series.
Yep.
I like to read the there's a whole series of comic books that they did that was about the Darkhold, and like how the Darkhold was torn apart and like each of the pages were distributed, and like you ever read the Darkhold comics where they're the guy's trying to get like each of the pages and rebuild the book?
No, I read the Atlantis Attacks backup where they tell you where it came from, where Cthon, you know, wrote it basically,
Right.
and then left it in the Marvel universe before he was escorted out by what was his name? Anyway, some big prehistoric hero that they had. But so I know about the Darkhold, but I've never specifically read the series that deal with it. I was usually following the wacky space adventures more than I was the occult adventures.
Yeah. I liked that. I like that, but I was also like, I got into it because I was reading a lot of the what would be now considered Midnight Suns character arcs. So I like when it came down to the darker characters, I was really into that, and plus, they had teased that Nick Cage was going to be the Ghost Rider, and I mean, so you know, I'm like, okay, gonna pick up these shows that, you know. I was a big fan of Johnny Blaze. Even though I got into the Ghost Rider after Johnny Blaze was no longer the Ghost Rider, so like I liked.
Danny catches the goat.
Yeah, and you know, and Danny, yeah, you know, I mean, so I kind of got into that series around then, and I got into looking for it. But when it comes to like the wacky stuff that they did, I was an Impossible Man fan.
Impossible Man. Yep. Marvel's answer to Mr. Mixyes-Pitlick.
Yes, yeah, I can never say his name right.
Well, it changes depending on which incarnation. Some will call him Mr. Mixelplix, some Mixius Pitalik. So the pronunciation changes depending on who you've got running it.
Who got running it, which actor you have saying his name. But on that note, like the Impossible Man, I think we're about to pop out of this reality. Do you have any last final thoughts for the morning? And
Yeah, I've got one. Get off your butt, go to the theater and see it for yourself. Quit letting other people tell you if a movie is good or not.
yeah, I could definitely sit with that thought process. Definitely go and make your own decision. Straight
Yeah,
up the board.
Or else we're going to get another He-Man situation where a perfectly
Please.
good movie dies at the box office for no
Please.
good reason.
Oh no, and don't let the politics or people opening their mouths saying stupid stuff scare you away from the box office. There are beyond good movies out there. There are the people at the cinemas who need to make money selling popcorn. Give Jimmy a chance to get his minimum wage.
Exactly. One of those people is my kid. So go support your local theater so he won't be home all the time. He'll have a job.
Yeah. And plus, send your kids to the theater so they won't be home all the time. And out of your hair, you get 2.5 hours of free time. So we are going to ask you to do us a favor, as our channel is supported by viewers like you. If you feel the need to have something other than a coffee in your cup at this time of morning, get yourself some W Energy Drink. W Energy Drink is a natural caffeinated beverage with coffee extract in it. Only 1 scoop is needed, and it will give you enough energy for your morning. Test it out. Use KJ CBD at checkout. It's really good stuff. Also, if you want to support the channel, make sure you get your KJ Cowboy Dan coffee mug, where I have a series of these cups, and soon I'm going to have a couple with the different shows that I'm on. I'm going to make a morning coffee mug, so that way morning dive and coffee mug that you can drink while watching us here on the morning dive and a coffee. Thank you very much. Don't forget, you can always support the channel by going to ko-fi.com. If you don't want to buy something and you think you have too much space in your cupboards, you can always donate via Ko-fi, where every single cent goes to making sure that this stage we use is paid for, and anything else that we get, like something to advance our opening credits just one step further. Much appreciated. Join us over on the Twitter side of the spectrum, where you can follow me and Dollar Bin Dan, because we hang out on Twitter and we're trying to make sure that we exceed those double digits.
That's right.
In other words,
I'm tired
talk to us, be our friends on there.
I'm tired of having nobody but sex bots follow me on Twitter.
Hey, we are absolutely not looking for sex bots.
Yes, real human
Although I
interactions
can
only.
recommend an Austin Powers movie. But thanks for joining us. We had a little bit of fun today, as always. Possibly might not be live tomorrow. Depends on if TCG Dude's able to join us. But we will be live on Friday with our take 2 with the one and only Iron Tiger, where we're going to be talking about creating your own character for a graphic novel, whatever that you want, from character design down to storyboarding, what tools you need if you're going to draw the character yourself or have somebody else do it. It's going to be a fun little conversation about putting your IP together. Join us on Friday for Morning Dive and a Coffee. See you then.
in a jar, we're feeling alright. Broadcast signal bending space and time. Coffee fueled chaos on the morning line. From the cartoon realm to the cyber sky, we're diving head first while the satellites cry. Steel and static, black and chrome. The future's broken, but we're still home. Morning dive and a coffee. Fuel the machine and ignite the day. Morning dive and a coffee. Surfing the timeline all the way. Ghosts in the signal fire, in the wire java. In our veins, turn the frequency higher. Morning dive and a coffee. Dive into the madness and start the day. Hey! Cowboy dance signal cuts across the years, laughing at paradoxes and our fears. From future wastelands to a retro sunrise, we're chasing tomorrow through electric eyes. The monitor shines with a radioactive light. Nuclear technicolor hues lighting up the night. Industrial heartbeat pounding through the screen like a synth-fade nightmare from a fever dream. Coffee, static. Coffee, static. Coffee, static. Dive! Morning dive and a coffee. Neon thunder in the morning rain. Morning dive and a coffee. Ride the signal through the digital pain. Industrial craniums, broken satellites, cartoon gods and radio waves burning through the night. Morning dive and a coffee. The future's awake, and we're leading the fight. 1,000 years ahead, one cup at a time. Dive deep, drink up. Static fades, synth echoes.